Hello, let us discuss the follow-up of vesicular mole today. It is very important topic for the postgraduates, especially for the viva and the spots. What is the purpose of follow-up? According to the modified WHO classification of GTD means gestational trophoblastic disease. It is a spectrum of disease. And what is GTN? It is a specific type of the neoplasia observed in the spectrum of these diseases. Among these GTDs, invasive mole constitutes 75% of them and choriocarcinoma constitutes 25% of them. This classification comments about molar lesions and non-molar lesions. Molar lesions are vesicular mole, invasive mole. Non-molar lesions include choriocarcinoma, placental site trophoblastic tumor and epithelioid tumor. These two tumors we'll discuss later on. We are interested in diagnosing persistent vesicular mole, invasive mole and choriocarcinoma. So what is the aim of follow-up? 80% of the mole after evacuation they resolve and 20% they develop into GTN. We must diagnose these GTN as early as possible. Can be in the form of persistent trophoblastic disease, invasive mole or choriocarcinoma. So how can I diagnose it? One method is by clinical examination confirmed by sonography, and the other way to diagnose is weekly serum HCG estimation. The second aim of this treatment is early intervention in the form of single agent chemotherapy, which can be started if abnormal HCG regression chart is there, so that complete cure can be observed and also fertility is preserved. Decision about hysterectomy one can take in the chemo-resistant cases. How follow-up is done in vesicular mole? First, identify which is low risk group, which is high risk group. Then differentiate what disease we are caring for or diagnosing, we are interested in diagnosing. One is persistent trophoblastic disease, second is locally invasive mole, and third is choriocarcinoma, which may be of low risk or high risk. It is also described as good prognosis, poor prognosis. This is gold stain vesicular mole pregnancy prognostic score. It is a score system to identify the prognosis. What for it is? For vesicular mole. It can be low risk, less than 4. It can be high risk when the score is more than 4. Here it starts from 0 and ends with the 3. Various types can be partial mole, complete mole or recurrent mole. Okay, you pay attention to these 4 points. One is age of the patient, second is size of the uterus, third is HCG in milli international units per ml, and next the fourth one is thecal uterine cyst. When we are commenting on these 4 points, pay attention to these central 2 columns, column number 1 and column number 2 with the score. In these cases, it starts like this: 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Here age is 30, here age is more than 40. Here more than 4 weeks height of uterus is, and in these cases height of uterus is more by 8 weeks. In this case of one score, the HCG titer will be more than 50,000 IU, milli IU, and here it will be more than 10 raised to 5 milli IU. And here the size of the luteal cyst is 6 cm, here it is more than 6 cm. Lastly, associated diseases in the form of preeclampsia, hyperthyroidism, hyperemesis may coexist. So only one criteria for one number, more than 1 is there, then one number is given. So the total score, if this column is given, the total score is of 6. In low risk, it is less than 4, and high risk, any one of them will be a high risk patient. Like recurrent mole, age of the patient is 40 years, size of the uterus is more by 8 weeks, and this titer is also high, 10 is to 6, and size of the thecal uterus is more than 6 centimeters. Like this, these are the high risk group. This group forms the high risk group. This is how I should differentiate between a low risk group and a high risk group. So what is the methodology of follow-up? First we examine the patient, next investigate by X-ray, chest and sonography, and repeat it after 3 months. What for this thing is required? To identify the size of the uterus and to identify the luteal cyst. Additional imaging methods like CT scan, MRI to diagnose occult metastasis if there is a doubt of malignancy are required. Every week HCG levels, serum HCG levels are predicted. What do we predict there? Elevation or persistence of these levels till HCG test is negative. Other investigations which must be done on follow-up are total blood count, and correction of anemia is also done, is required by assessing this count. Platelet count and liver function test in the form of SGOT, SGPT are required. Sometimes uterine artery Doppler can also help if serum HCG titer is not available. In these cases, after evacuation of mole, the uterine artery Doppler will show high resistance and high SD ratio. It will be 4. Before evacuation, it will be 2. And there will be low velocity blood flow in the uterine artery with less diastolic filling. So it can be an alternative for HCG titer in case sometimes it is if the titer is not feasible because of the economical problems. How often HCG titer is done? Initially every week till it is negative. Then it is done monthly by urine. Here urine test for HCG is done. It is urinary levels are enough, just like pregnancy test, urinary HCG levels are estimated after the test is negative. Then second year, every 6 months it is conducted. What is normal HCG regression chart? It is given by Schlarth. There is fall in the HCG value by 1 log per week or 10% of previous value. As such, there is a steady fall for within 3 weeks period. Normally, HCG value returns back to normal or negative in partial mole at the end of 7 weeks and in complete mole at the end of 9 weeks. What do you understand by normal value? Means it should be less than 5 milli international unit per ml. When the HCG value regresses up to say about 15 milli international unit per ml, that time there is risk of LH circs and ovulation. That's why contraceptives are advised on follow-up for these patients. HCG test is negative 2 weeks after abortion, 4 weeks after full-term delivery, 7 weeks after partial mole and 9 weeks after complete mole. You remember this sequence. 2, 4, you may remember it as a 8 because partial mole is rare. In these cases, luteal cysts they regress after 14 weeks and in cases of complete mole they regress at the end of 18 weeks. So it is double of this, 9 weeks, 18 weeks. It is like that. Normal HCG regression chart. It documents on vertical axis HCG levels and horizontal axis weekly visits till say about 12 weeks or so. So it is, the direction is there is 10% fall in the HCG levels each week. So the chart will be, regression chart will be downward like this. And the HCG test will be negative as at the end of 10 weeks here. The HCG is negative. What is abnormal HCG regression chart? This is very important question asked for the spots. In these cases, there are 4 points. This chart is meant to diagnose GTA in the form of persistent disease, in the form of invasive mole, in the form of choriocarcinoma. So what it says, on the first visit, HCG titer more than 1 lakh. On second visit, 2-fold rise. And on third visit, plateau for 3 consecutive visits or no fall by 10%. No fall or plateau is same. Fourth point is, fourth week HCG titer more than 40,000 milli international units per ml. So this is how first week more than 1 lakh and fourth week more than 40,000. In between, second point is 2-fold rise and persistence of plateau for 3 weeks is third point. like that you remember. Let us see on the graph. First visit, HCG titer more than 1 lakh, like this. The first visit itself, it is too much. It's an abnormal reading. On second visit, at the end of 2 weeks, twofold rise. Here it was 20,000. It has doubled up, say 45,000 or so, at the end of 2 weeks. Persistence of plateau for 3 consecutive visits. For 1, 2 and 3. So there is persistence of plateau and HCG value for 3 consecutive visits, or there are 4 readings. 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. Indicates that we are dealing with GTN. At the 4th visit, the HCG titer is more than 40,000. Here, this level is abnormal. What are the FIGO criteria to predict PTD? They are same, but clinical interpretation is also included there. Irregular bleeding PV, over 3 consecutive visits, 10% rise. Instead of fall, there is rise. And here, over a period of 3 consecutive weeks, there is persistence of plateau, 4 readings. Same as we discussed. At the end of 6 months, this is one more point added here, the serum HCG is positive. Treatment of PTD or low risk GTN score less than 6. Single agent 0.5 mg per kg body weight methotrexate is given for 5 days. With the gap of 2 weeks, go on repeating it till HCG is negative. Followed by injection methotrexate 1 mg per kg body weight, IV or intramuscular on alternate days, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, like that. And intermittently, on the alternate days, you give 0.1 milligram. This is 1 milligram. This is 0.1 milligram per day on alternate days. Such 3 cycles are given at the interval of 2 weeks. The interval is always of 2 weeks. This is one protocol which can be given. Next one, if GTN score is more than 6, high risk cases, and failure of methotrexate or elevated SGOT-SGPT means abnormal liver function test. In these cases, actinomycin D is given. It is 11 microgram per kg per day for 5 days and repeat after 2 days till HCG is negative. It is also known as VP16. This tablet etoposide also given. Its alternative name is VP16. 200 milligram is the dose per meter square per day for 5 days, or IV in one shot, means IV for 3 hours, single dose can be given, should be given along with this. This is given, the actinomycin is given till the HCG is negative, followed by etoposide. What is the follow-up which is must after chemotherapy? Of course, erythropoiesis is hampered. It affects the bone marrow. Naturally, hemoglobin will fall. Total count will be less. Platelet count will be less. These are the critical values. There you have to stop the chemotherapy, give the blood transfusion, correct these readings, and then second cycle of the chemotherapy can be started. Elevated liver enzymes is a problem with the methotrexate. So monitor the liver function test and the kidney function test also. In this case, patients can be selected for surgery also on follow-up. That is how we conduct a follow-up in patients of vesicular mole. Thanks for watching this video.